didn't see anything. Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Vanilla. Hey buddy. This little area here is the focus of this episode. I want to convert this little spot between the farmhouse and our mine entrance into a bit of a temporary storage area. Try and sort out all of this business here, remove some of the bits and pieces, and clean it up so that we have a more reliable, more organized sorting system until we move somewhere a little bit more permanent. I think what we might also do is take some of these buildings down, change up the landscape maybe just a little bit, and see how we go from there. In between episodes, I've been over here doing some tree gathering, just getting myself a good supply of a few of the different types of wood, and I've got myself a few more mangrove here that we might use today. And let's have a look and see how our little farm here has been going. Okay, we need to get rid of some of that. And that's also been working away. Beautiful. I'm going to save these up for a little while because I think I'd like to maybe zombify. There was moss there. Can Enderman pick up moss? But yeah, I think I might want to zombify these guys before I go about trading up any of these goodies. So, for now, let's just put that away. Let the rest of that pour its way in. And I'll come back in a minute and see whether I can get the rest of it. So, let's decide what we want to do here. Now, I've got some cobbled deep slate. I've got some of that wood over there, as well as probably some little bits and pieces tucked around. And now that we have ourselves access to some more serious tools, this is going to be a lot easier. Plus, if we jump all the way down here, yeah, this takes a little while. The world is so deep now. I've also done a little bit more digging back here to get ourselves a good supply of some deep slate. And a couple more diamonds. I'm actually going to take these up with me. And whatever I can grab of that as well. Back up top. So, let's, yeah, I'm just going to put this away in here for a second. But we are going to have to organize that properly very shortly. Let's think about what we want to do. And I think rather than doing much of a time lapse, I've been enjoying just doing little bits and pieces per episode. Later on, I'm sure we'll do some big progress things in a single episode where I do like a 10-hour build or something like that, or a lot of grind work. But it's also nice to just put in these little episodes where I build a single farm or we focus on this one area. So hopefully you guys enjoy this and we'll see what we can get done. First things first, I'm going to lower this down a little bit. And although it's going to require some more terraforming back to make it look natural, I think the first thing I'm going to do is just give us a nice empty slate, a nice flat area between the two that I can then work off. And that's a little bit better. A little bit more space. I might go back ever so slightly more because I'm probably going to want access around to the back of there. So let's do this. Buddy, pop on my shoulder. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Okay. I went a little bit far, but it's fine. So, with this area cleared out, there's going to be plenty of room for setting up a little workstation with my sort of crafting table, a few bits and pieces like stone cutters and whatnot, as well as a bit of storage and some decoration as well. Now, what I think I might do is see whether or not I have a couple of spare chests, or maybe some barrels. I don't have either, so we might craft up a few. And we may as well bring some sticks with us. So, craft up a few extra chests, take a quick nap, and I'm going to set these up just out of the way and destroy these. Put all this stuff away so it's out of the middle. Oh, what a mess. And go from there. So, not even going to bother sorting it, because the whole purpose of this episode is to get that done. Oh, maybe I'll sort it slightly. Okay. And a stone cutter out will probably be quite helpful. So I think I want to do the floor between here in a deep slate tile. So let's bring that across. And I am going to make this a top slab variety, just so that placing down the chests and stuff look right and sit right without having to do too much fiddling. Buddy, don't get trapped underneath there. Sit there. Out of the way. Good boy. Okay, we'll leave it at that point for the time being. And we'll probably detail it later, put some variation in there. But for now, it's a nice blank canvas for us to work with. I might also destroy these. Okay, perfect. Next thing to do is probably add ourselves a handful of chests here, just so that we get an idea of what spacing we have. And I think a nice little break in the middle is probably actually not bad. Ugh, one short. So with that, we can add a few more layers, and we're going to drastically improve the amount of storage that we have. And the idea of doing this is, I guess, to show how it's very easy to get caught up in living in a little chest monster, but it's almost as easy to gather a few resources and then, within a very short amount of time, get yourself set up with a storage room. So I'm kind of recording this all in one go. I'm giving myself about an hour to see how much I can get done. Obviously, there's been some preparation work and stuff, sitting there on streams and just by myself collecting some resources, but it's ended up allowing me to, there we go, to make up all of this stuff and get it prepared. So we'll do that and this, and that is a really decent amount of storage right off the bat. So I'm not going to focus too much on the decorating first. I'm going to focus on getting myself the actual functionality sorted, and then we can try and blend everything in together and see how it looks. So far, it's been about 15 minutes in my time. Not too bad. Next thing I want to do is probably grab these couple of things and see what else I have. Did you just go on my shoulder, buddy? No, you sit there. Good boy. And what else do I have here? Cartography table I'm not too worried about using just now, and nothing else in here, but a composter for me to use would be nice, which will probably be this one here. So we'll grab those as well. I think having it near the opening to this mine would be nice, and since I want to give myself a little bit of space for decoration, I'm going to come one block off. So, crafting table, most accessible from the get-go, out of here, as well as when we come in towards our crafting area, and it's pretty close to the storage. I think I'll put a little bit of a wall here of, let's go this way, of the different types of furnaces. So we'll go a normal furnace in the middle, a smoker, and then for the blast furnace, I can't quite remember the recipe, but I think it has something to do with, yeah, smooth stone. Okay. Do I have any of that? There's the 5 iron that I need. I do. Perfect. Beautiful. One of those, and one of those. Nice. I think what we'll do is hide that composting machine away in here as well, and have it come down to here. So it should be as simple as grabbing this hopper, putting that there, and we'll do a double chest up on top so that it sticks out a little bit further. And that will be, yeah, composting. Nice. First Minecraft day done and dusted, since we slept just before doing this. So we have a bulk storage area, a bit of a crafting area here. We probably want to get ourselves set up with some iron, but I don't have that much right now. So that might be something that we have to work on fairly soon. Yeah, not much at all. Okay, so from there, I think I will probably grab, and I'm sure I got one from dismantling this village over here. I could have sworn I got myself a brewing stand. But perhaps not. Local brewery. Where would that be? Anyway, that might be something that we need to do when we get into the nether, but setting up a brewing stand there would be a nice addition, or maybe there. Okay, so bulk storage, crafting, mine entrance. Now over here, I think I just want to do some additional storage, and I want to do that with barrels. So a little bit like this, maybe make a pile over there, and we can use some of these oak slabs to do so. Going to do this a little different and give ourselves the back of a chest, and I'll make a couple more barrels. Okay, now it's sort of all looking a little bit thrown together right now, but I know that what I can do next is tie it all together and make it look really nice. So we've sort of reached the point now where I think I'm going to start decorating and then probably organize all of this later. Or, no, it's organizing time. About 23 minutes in, not too shabby. Let's see if I can move all of this stuff over. First thing I'm going to do is grab a few more sticks and some dark oak signs, I think. Because dark oak is one of the easier ones to farm. I'm actually going to grab a few extra as well, just for building purposes. So, let's make a bunch of these. And I'll place them on here first, and we'll break them and replace them each time. We want to add a new sign or a new indicator of what's in the chest itself. I'm just going to put the rest of those in there because we'll probably want to mark these as we work with them too. And we'll just do this here to indicate what goes there. Okay, put some of that in here for building. Where do I want this saw to go? There for now. Okay, first things first, we will call this one cobblestone. And I'm going to make a bunch of white dye and do that. I feel like that's really easy to understand and see. It stands out to me on the dark. So I like that. Cool. Above that, I'm going to do cobble variety. We'll give that some white dye. And that's going to be for things like the stairs, the mossy cobble. What else have we possibly gone? If we had some slabs and bits and pieces available, I could put that in there too. Yeah, here we go. Slabs, fences or walls. Okay. With the anticipation of getting silk touch and using normal stone, I'm just going to go stone here, a little bit of dye, and in the same vein of things, stone variety. Yeah, that's going to be stuff like these stone bricks, normal stone can go in there, but we don't have it that much in the way of stone bits and pieces to go in there yet. There's more future-proof. Here I'll go deep slate. That one's simple enough to work out. And since we're running out of room and I want to keep my lines in order, I think I'm just going to call that one Deep Slate Plus. Yeah, perfect. And I'll put a line of the standard Deep Slate down here for now. This one could be dirt and grass. And above that, I'm going to call this one greenery. Greenery? Eerie? Yeah, it'll do. I think that's right. And the greenery can be things like, well, not necessarily the saplings, but kelp, moss carpet, flowers and such. Okay, now we're slowing down a little bit. It's been 31 minutes, but we're making some space. That's good. Now, at the very end here, I'm going to have the sites, or isites, diorite, the ites. Ites? Yeah, the ites. Yeah. And the ites will be things like my diorite, granite, and andesite. And a sleep. This one I can split into 3 so that I have them ordered and easy to deal with. So if I do that, then every time I add something to it, it's going to fill up like that. It's not the most storage, but for now we don't have that much of it, so I think that's okay. Not bad. Next is a pretty basic one, nether blocks. And that covers things like the soul sand and this netherrack. We might even put quartz in there for now. Yeah. In fact, I may even put things like obsidian and magma blocks in there too. Glowstone, magma cream, all things related to the nether. So if that's the case, rather than calling it nether blocks, I think we'll just call it nether. Yeah. Cool. Now, I don't really have much here right now, but what we're going to do is add a sand plus gravel. And that will just hold some bits and pieces as we get them. I'm also going to put the flint in there because it's obviously related. Jump over to this side for a second and go crafted wood. And that's going to include things like the stairs, the slabs, all of this stuff here. Not necessarily the boats, but doors, slabs, trapdoors and such. Try and keep them organized for the time being. I'm also going to try my best to keep them separated by different wood types, but obviously we've got a fair bit of oak set up from the get-go. So for now, that'll work, and I'll keep the chest in there too. We'll start over on this side with more of the miscellaneous things, where all of that stuff over on the left is more blocks. This one here we're going to call seeds plus saplings. That one covers a fair bit of ground too, which is nice. So for now, just going to throw those in there nice and quickly. And we can actually start to get rid of a few chests that are empty. That, like that. And I can actually probably just grab some of these out. Alright, this one here we will call villager stuff. And in that I'm going to include all of these beds and probably the boats too. But I'm going to use that to include things like the cartography table, bells, stuff that are related to how they will function and their uses as well. We've hit 40 minutes now, so it's time to kick it into gear. I think if I can get it organized in an hour, then maybe I can do some decorating afterwards. So this one here, I'm going to call armor. Since we've got a bunch of bits and pieces spread around, just organizing it for the time being. Some of the stuff I might want to use for disenchanting or even putting on armor stands and whatnot. We'll include shields in that and horse armor. I don't have the room, but I can make it by using my perfectly organized storage system. Since there's a lot of varieties of the new mud and I'm probably going to work with it, we're going to do mud plus extra overworld like that. And what I'm going to do here, underground extra or underground plus. Yeah, that seems good enough. And that could be for things like the tough and a couple of different varieties of probably deep slate or something along those lines. Maybe something like the ores, if I get those in their silk-touched form. I really hope this isn't getting tedious, so I am going to blaze through a couple of them, but we're getting there now. I'm going to call this one Tools. Hopefully when I edit it up, it's nice and snappy for yous. But we can put that muddy stuff, and I'm going to include the mangrove roots in that. Even though they are sort of technically wood, they're actually used in crafting some type of mud, which is this one, the muddy mangrove roots. So I think it fits in there. I think what I'm going to do is add my valuables to this one here. Actually, no. I'm going to put that on this tucked away chest over here. That keeps it nice and separate, but also still in this same area. And a few little bits and pieces like that. In fact, we might even glowstone that one up. Nice. Makes it nice and visible and obvious where it is. We could glowstone all of those eventually, but for now I don't have that much. And with that, we are now just over 45 minutes, but I'm doing okay. Alright, what else do we have? Animal drops. That one seems fairly self-explanatory for the overworld animal drops. Even things like the lead. But that will include eggs. Nautilus shells, I would say, is yes from the drowned, but we'll kind of count it as an animal drop. Feathers, sure. Hostile mob stuff can go up in here. This one I can organize this direction because there's a little bit less variety. We'll just do stuff like that. I don't actually have any bones because I'm going to be probably keeping those and using them, but that is all right. And then the bottom can be set up with some extra bits and pieces. Nice. Okay. We'll come right over to this side here and do redstone. That's going to get rid of a few more. I'm not going to put the rails in there just because I'm going to put that into a transportation one, I believe. And that way I think we might actually grab the redstone from here and move it out. Since redstone is really only used for redstone stuff, it seems like the right way to deal with it. Transport. That one's fairly self-explanatory. Food can go here. And I'm almost done. Now, I don't really consider the poisonous potato food, so I'm going to put that somewhere else. But at this point here, I can probably nearly break everything and deal with it from there. I should have enough room in my inventory. I do. Okay, now we're talking. Food, bits and pieces going there. Actually, I will put the poisoned potatoes down there. And the pumpkin. Animal drops, I'm not going to include wool in because there's a lot of different varieties of wool. So I'm going to go wool plus, and that one can include carpets as well as normal wool. Even though I don't have that much right now, we will eventually make ourselves a nice little setup, probably with a bit of a farm. Since redstone is magic, I'm going to go enchanted books here, right above it. We don't have much now, but we will. The music discs can go in there for the time being. In the extra overworld, I'm going to actually add the terracotta and ice and such for the time being, because we don't really have a good alternative for that yet, and that's something that I will add in a more serious storage system. The sand will hold the glass stuff. I might do lighting And that can be bits and pieces that I'll probably add to things like the soul lanterns. When we go to the end rods, we'll call this one decoration. And right now we really only have that, but there are a few items that I really only use for decoration. Stuff like the pot plants and bits and pieces, or the pots to put plants in. Those can go in the decoration. And we've pretty much moved everything. I'm at 55 minutes in. I've got all of the stuff moved into storage. I'm going to grab this bed actually. And we're going to, I'm not sure where we're going to put that, but for the time being, maybe we make a little bedroom under here. I'm not sure. We'll put it in here for just a second. In the books, I think I'm just going to put the paper for now. And I have 3 extra chests, which are unlabeled, that I'll have to decide what I want to do with. So, we've got most blocks sorted out. I've got those different wood types, which I don't think I want to put here. I maybe want to keep the wood storage up in a future wood chopping area. That is not too bad. Okay, these barrels can be used for extra bits and pieces like storing, say, extra tools for going mining. For example, if I wanted to put my fortune pick in there out of the way so that it's safe and I know where it is, or even just extra crafting materials, things like sticks that I want to keep. I'll see how we go. That's kind of a what if situation. This is more of a locked in, but I like that. It's handy. It's labeled. It seems to be fairly obvious what goes where, to me at least. I know that means overworld, even though it might sound like Overwatch to some people. But yeah, all organized. Nice. And the iron nugget can go there. Nice. Chests of crafted wood, so we've got 30 spare ones for doing other bits and pieces. I've probably rambled a lot, so I think I need to see how much this edits up into, and then we can get into working on making this look pretty. Yeah. So, if you made it through that basically half an episode of me just rambling about where I'm placing things, hi, I'm glad you've made it this far and thank you for sticking with me. But now we have a nice, fully sorted storage system. And I think what I'm going to do is pop into a time lapse to finish up this episode. A little reward of some more fast-paced stuff and showing some progress as compared to, 12 odd minutes of me just placing things in chests. So with that, we're going to fire up a bit of music, prettify this area a little bit, make it nice, maybe tear down those buildings up there. Oh, my legs are getting jiggy. And see what we can come up with. So, I hope you enjoy this time lapse. I'll see you on the other side to run through what I've done. And yeah, hope you all enjoy. Yeah. And so, we now have a little bit of a storage area. Not exactly what I was expecting. Sounds funny to say that, but I definitely went into this just completely winging it, completely improvising what I was doing. I had no plan, and we've come out with this storage area, a little tucked away bedroom that we'll do some work on, and linked up over the top here to our greater area with a little bit of a renovation to the roof back there and the building itself. Now that I finally have some more of the wood types, I decided to change things over, keeping some of it original. It's a little bit interesting with the clashing colors. We might eventually change that out, but sure, why not, Figured I would try something a little different and make it blend in with the rest of this building as well. I really like how this little walkway comes up the outside and ties this whole thing into the landscape a little bit more. And I'm excited for how this is going to look. Hello, buddy. You gonna get on my shoulder? Yeah. For how this is gonna look once we add some more buildings and such. So now this is all cleaned up. We can come in here, we can actually grab that bed and put it away in here. Actually, no, we don't have any room for that. I've made a mess, obviously, going through, putting some of this stuff in. I think I'm going to go through and add a little bit more moss, maybe up the top, which I just put away, to add a little variety. And, you know, it's not super detailed yet. I'll probably add some fence stuff and, I don't know, fiddle with it a little bit just until I can find a nice balance of what I want. But I really like this little area. In fact, that may be one of my favorite spots of the whole build. Just that little bit there feels really nice. And I tried my best to make it a little bit asymmetrical. Not exactly going perfectly against that building. So we're going to come up in here. I think just add some bits of moss around. Possibly with some carpet on it so that it's non-spawnable spaces. And we'll grab the last few of our leaves as well. But I'm really happy with this, like really happy with this. It feels a lot nicer to have a little bit of a permanently put in space down there. Where'd Buddy go? I'm sure he's floating around somewhere. And it definitely feels better to have an organized storage system to get us close to the mid-game. This should last us easily until we get shulker boxes, I would say, as long as I'm smart about what I'm doing and not just gathering a bunch of materials unnecessarily. And I do have stuff like this, where I've built up a decent supply of a few extra bits and pieces, as well as some... oh, there's the oak leaves that I wanted. But yeah, as well as a bit of junk just thrown into some random barrels that I will need to clean and sort. I think just in here, it might be nice to add like some paintings and stuff, maybe a little bit of a table of sorts, but I just wanted to get a nice permanent bed in, and I obviously haven't quite finished up this stuff because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. But all in all, that little area there is really nice. Just, yeah, it feels like a good addition. I hope you guys think so too. Oh, buddy, you went back to where you were sitting. Good boy. Now, I've been gathering and trying to... oh, I don't have any room. Oh, goodness me. Blah. I keep doing this, getting rid of a bunch of stuff and coming over here. I can barely keep up with how fast this is going. So it does work pretty well. I'm probably even going to have to start trading before I go through and zombify them because of how fast this is building up all the supplies. But at least we know that it works well, and I don't have to worry about emeralds for a while. Yeah, that's doing pretty good. So I'll let those trickle back in there, and let's just grab all of this and make a little bit of room in there. Perfect. So with that, even though I know it was a very rambly episode, a lot of going over what I was doing here, that did take up about half the episode. I hope you don't mind that, and I hope you enjoy how this little area turned out. We might grab some stuff like... what have I got spread around? Here we go. This, and turn it into the half slab there, and just a little bit at random there. Go through and change up the floor a bit so that we have some variety, and maybe a couple more. Yeah, that's a bit nicer. Just a little bit of variation to make things feel less uniform. I like it. All right. So we're definitely going to add some decoration to this over time. We might even put a little bit more storage in here. We'll see how we go. And I will think about how I want to do and fix up the back of this. A couple of people suggested maybe something like a chimney at the back. So I'll see if I can come up with an idea or a design that I like for there. But all in all, I think this area is now prepared for some more buildings up top here. A little bit of a tree farm tucked into the back over this side. And we're starting to get a little bit more of a uniform, I suppose, palette. I didn't end up using any of the mangrove wood because I think I want to save that for doing the main base when I get to it. But getting into that dark oak and deep slate is really, really nice. I will want to vary up the roof a little bit like I did that floor as well. But it's just a matter of getting the time to do it. So as the night falls, I'm going to, buddy, I'm going to bring Buddy over with me, and we're going to go into the safety of this area, head to bed, and say thank you very much for watching. I hope the sorting wasn't too tedious for you, and I hope you enjoyed the build that I've done here. Just a little bit of progress in the world is quite nice, isn't that right, Buddy? A nice storage system and a little bit of a crafting area connected to our main mine here, as well as the skeleton spawner that we have down there, and this farmhouse, which is probably... There we go. I'm going to have to get to crafting and trading all of that stuff up, but that's for another episode. So, I would like to thank my Patreon supporters for your continued support. You are all amazing, and I appreciate it so much that you are willing to invest in me making these videos and helping bring it all to life for everyone. And if you enjoyed this episode, folks, I'd really appreciate it if you left a like. It does help a lot, and it helps me know that you're enjoying the videos that I put out. So, with that being said, until the next episode, I hope you all take care of yourselves. I'm going to get some sleep, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye, everyone. Buddy. Buddy? Buddy. 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 Oh! Somehow he's just all of a sudden on my shoulder. I didn't even see him rock up. Okay, come on, bud. Let's go to bed. See you, everyone. Take care.